experimentalies.
Magnuson, did you hear that? I'll bet it's the Combine portal code.
Yes, I'm not deaf.
I downloaded the whole packet. They've been chasing us ever since.
Well, of course they have. You see, Kleiner, it's the linchpin of all of their plans.
Well, I can see that. I never said...
Somewhere in that sequence, they would have had to establish a connection with the far side. What you have there, young lady, is the specific contact code for the Combine overworld.
Good God.
Now, if I am right about this, and I have no reason to doubt myself, you are carrying the very code Dr. Mossman had hoped to recover.
As far as shooters go, I mean, they're really cool characters. Even, you know, with Bioshock, they're just so great for story and stuff. Even there's no equivalent of a character. I mean, because they're all mutated Dick Tracy villains, you know. And even though, you know, all the characters that are not, you're responding indirectly through, you know, audio logs and stuff. But in this game, the character can be right in front of you and talking to you, and you actually want to like look at them and see what they have to say instead of just jumping around the door waiting for it to open and let you go out and fight, you know.
Yeah, I mean, like all their technology that they built, like their facial animation system. I mean, aside from Heavenly Sword, there's not another game that has better looking characters who animate and behave like lifelike human actors.
All right, people, change of plans. There is no way we can launch before those Striders are... Oh, excuse me if I'm interrupting tea time. I'll just step out until you've finished, if that's more convenient. Well, Freeman, I believe I've found the perfect use for you. Follow me.
There's not a single archetypal character in there in the way that, like, you know, Gears of War, like the like, let's go fuck some shit up. Like, there's not a single person like that, or even, you know, Halo I see that way outside of Cortana, you know.
Yeah, the single player experience in the Orange Box, I think, is pretty much unmatched this year, especially if you haven't played any Half-Life 2 before. Like, to get Half-Life 2, to get Episode 1 and Episode 2 all in one run, that's going to be like a 35-hour experience, almost 32 to 35, and that's like... I don't know. That's it's like the best first-person shooting there is, pretty much.
Like, I think they could have sold Team Fortress 2 on its own. Yeah. They will. I mean, they're going to sell every little piece and every combination that you can imagine. But like, that's a game that I can see, even having played what we did, I can imagine paying full price for that.
Attention. 5 minutes left in the mission.
Because they took out the secondary grenades. I don't mind the regular grenades, but they took out the secondary grenades. When you jump in, you don't feel you have quite as many options per class as you did before. And then I told Valve, you know, when they asked what we thought about it, I was like, you know, I'm worried about the long-term payoff, where the more I put into it, the more I get out of it with mastering subtle, you know, techniques and things like that. But
you know, of course, their response was like, don't worry, man, it's in there. But, you know, it's just not evident from the get-go after 30 minutes or an hour of play, whatever we play, because it really does feel like, well, I've got a shotgun, I've got a melee weapon, and I've got, you know, my medic heal kit. Like, what else could I really realistically do with this stuff? I want to see that extra depth, but, you know, I don't think it's going to be until after the game gets released and people have put hours and hours and hours into it before
it would be sad, too, if they ever did admit that they took all that out primarily because it was going to come to console, too. Yeah. And then it doesn't do so well on console.
You know, everything about it is super tight, super polished, graphics are slick, gameplay is fun, levels are designed really, really well, but it takes like, because there's so many different classes, it takes like 30 minutes to really, you know, get in and feel like you're doing anything positive with any class that you might choose. So, and I don't know, I feel like console gamers are really fickle about their multiplayer. Yeah. And especially since like Halo 3 will have just come out, most of those guys are just going to be playing Halo 3, but the PC gamers who know what's up are going to be having a blast with Team Fortress 2.
I don't think that the people that even we work with that are primarily play shooters on console will even like it much. I think they'll just complain about a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Mainly that it's not Halo.
Pretty much.
What's going to be really rewarding for people that do play it is that the team level nuance is absolutely there.
Yeah.
And any team that's working well together across a wide range of classes and that has a plan for both offense and defense, you know, they're really going to be rewarded. For the more you put into it, in that sense, they will get more out of it. people, no matter what, they're gonna look at it and say, "Wow, that looks cool," though, because everything about it is so smooth and fluid. All the taunts that each character has.
And I think it's also important to mention that, you know, all the stuff we did play was on 360. The episode 2, it looks amazing. It runs perfectly. Frame rate is not going to be an issue this time. You know, anyone who was holding off playing these titles because they thought they were getting a less than perfect experience or something, well, it's pretty fucking amazing looking now. Like, there's no excuse. Team Fortress 2 runs well, Episode 2 runs well, best version of Half-Life 2 running with HDR. You know, you've never even seen the game look this good before. New models, like the Vortigaunt's updated, Alex is updated. I mean, I'm ready to hop in again, and I still maintain that that is the best gaming value that's coming out this year. For $59, you just can't beat all the stuff that's coming in the package.